Kaitlin.
So we're two registered dietitians. So like Betsy said, this is the start of a cooking series that we're going to be doing here, and we have different topics planned for each month. But today we are going to be talking about smoothies because it is getting hotter, and smoothies can be a nice way to not only cool off and refresh a little bit, but they're a great way to boost and foster your immune system. So a little bit about us. My specialty is oncology, so I work with our cancer patients who come in and who are either coming in for, needing help gaining weight, needing help maintaining weight, making sure that they're staying nourished during treatment. So that is my specialty, and I'll let Kaitlin tell you a little bit about hers.
Yes, definitely. Hello. I'm here to be with Klara. We do a lot of social media, online cooking, so that people can see how easy it is to cook at home. So my specialty is a little bit different. It's diabetes, women's health. Is basically my focus, so not really oncology, but love to show you about some healthy smoothies today.
So the big thing with smoothies, there's a lot of information out there, and on the handouts that you guys have, it talks a little bit about kind of building a smoothie and what kind of goes into it. The main thing that we talk about with our clients, whether they have cancer or not, is the important thing is make sure you're putting protein in your smoothie. So that kind of helps keep your blood sugar stable. It helps keep you fuller longer, and it can help with whether it's weight gain, weight maintenance, whatever it is that you need.
Right. It's definitely easy to pack a lot of stuff into a smoothie, like 3 apples. It's really easy to drink 3 apples, but you're not going to sit down and eat 3 apples.
No.
So you want to make sure that it's really well balanced with the fat, with the protein.
Exactly. And so we're going to show you 4 different smoothies today. Each of them are a little bit different. So we're going to show you a chocolate peanut butter smoothie that is going to be great if you need a little bit of extra help, maybe gaining some weight because you've lost some during treatment, or your appetite's low and you need a little bit of an extra boost. So we're going to do that. We're also going to do a banana smoothie, and what this one is really good, it's nice and refreshing. So if you're having any kind of mouth sores or any kind of discomfort and it doesn't really feel good to eat, this will be a great one to get some nutrients in and get some protein. We're also going to do a green smoothie that is diabetes friendly. So of course, diabetes is Kaitlin's specialty, but chronic disease management is something that's important. So if you have diabetes and you're undergoing cancer treatment, we want to make sure that your blood sugars are staying stable. And then the last thing is we're going to do a high protein strawberry peach smoothie that is going to be great if you just need to get a little bit of extra protein in.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any nut allergies in the room?
I'm a nut, but that's
Okay.
I already tell you that.
I'm allergic to him.
Yeah. He's one down.
But what about peanut butter? Are we good with that? Peanut butter? That's the only nut you're allergic to? Okay.
All right, so this one is,
That's it.
the purpose of this one is first a little bit of weight gain. So we're using ice cream as the dairy base for that. What else is going into it?
And so we are going to, of course, use ice cream, which is going to help give some calories and give some nice creamy consistency. But we're going to put in a protein powder in there to kind of double whammy it so that you're getting extra protein in there. So I just brought a sample that I use with some of my clients in the office. It's called Unjury. I don't know if any of you have heard.
Unjury. Was it called Unjury or just Unjury?
Unjury, like injury, but with the U.
Yeah, okay. I was looking up that. Somebody recommended, I think, that one to me.
This is one of my personal favorites. I like it because it's very affordable. You can order it online. It tastes pretty good. We've tried quite a few protein powders to see, because who wants to drink a protein powder that doesn't taste very good? So this one, actually does really well in the taste category, in my opinion.
Choosing a better protein powder is really important with the smoothies because they just take over the taste of the smoothie. Really.
Yeah.
And they're pretty palatable.
Yep.
Is that flavored then, or what?
This one is flavored, so it's chocolate because we're doing a chocolate smoothie, but Unjury also does a strawberry, a vanilla, and an unflavored, and a chicken soup flavored. So I know it sounds weird. Yes.
What's the protein source? Soy or
this is whey?
Okay.
This is 100%. It's a whey protein powder. Again, another reason why I like it. And it's a medical grade protein, so you'll see it in a lot of hospitals, but you can order it. You can order it at home.
How much? What is that, like a serving size there as far as, and how many? What is that, or how many grams of protein is
21.
That's 21
And I
there.
added a little extra ice cream. You want about half a cup of ice cream, but I added a little extra.
And What size, is that the 32 or 16 ounce, what is
This
that?
is 24 ounce.
24.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and then, so we're
A
gonna
couple
add
tablespoons
in,
of peanut butter.
yeah, and this is helping, one, with the flavor, but two, if you do wanna gain a little bit of weight, adding in healthy fats like nut butters can be a really great way to do that. There we go.
That's a way to get rid of some of my almond butter then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I like using almond butter in like the fruity smoothies because it blends in really well.
Yeah.
Peanut butter will give it an overwhelming taste of nuts, but
Yeah.
almond butter is more mild.
Yes.
And I'm just adding in some milk to give us some, we might need to add a little bit more, but let's blend that and see what we get.
Here, I overdo mine.
And what kind of milk are you using?
This is just 1% low fat.
Oh, okay.
And you can really do whatever kind of. Yeah, go ahead. Do we need more?
I don't know, maybe.
Cool.
Maybe.
So yeah, it's important to pay attention to the serving size of your smoothie. It's really easy to make a smoothie that's this whole container full, but then you've got a lot of
Things that are going in there. And what I tell people is, when you're making a smoothie, think about the ingredients that are going in. Oh, you think you're good. Think about the ingredients that are going in there. If you are adding fruit into your smoothie, would you eat that much fruit in a sitting? Would you sit there and eat 3 apples like Kaitlin said earlier? Probably not, but maybe half of an apple? That seems a little bit more manageable. So.
Does it hurt me if I got a big one or something?
Well, so the big thing is making sure that portion sizes are important in general, depending on what your nutrition goals are. Doing a bigger smoothie might not necessarily be as bad, but if you want to maintain weight or you want to prevent weight gain during treatment, having a large smoothie might not be as beneficial because, one, it can have a lot of calories, and then the other thing is that it can take the place of whole food that will make you feel more satisfied. So there's a lot of research out there that talks about like the actual chewing and the swallowing and how that aids in feeling satisfied. So if you're drinking your calories, you might not feel as satisfied and it'll lead you to eat more. So again, depending on what your nutrition goals are, it might not be a bad thing, but also might not be the best.
Okay, I just mostly I do smoothies just so I'll get junk in me because I have, low salivary output, so.
And that's a great way to get in the fruits and vegetables.
So that's, I get I just start throwing stuff in there until the thing says I can't grind anymore.
All right, who would like to try some?
Let's try some. Sure.
You use pavers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It rocks out of the driveway.
Yeah, exactly.
We did use
Careful, we're being recorded over here.
We used a peanut butter chunk ice cream, so there may be a chunk of peanut butter in a couple of those.
Can I point out that cellulose is a byproduct of neuropathy, and so this is cold, and so we wouldn't be able to drink it.
Okay,
So.
that's a good point because of that.
What's that, you can't drink?
Oh, because of the ice cream, yeah.
Oh, you're right. You want me to have it?
Yeah.
Anybody else
Well,
want?
and something what
Or
you
do
can
want
do
it?
if you can't necessarily tolerate the cold is let the ice cream sit a little bit so that it comes, so then you're still getting the benefit of the creaminess and the thick and the calories without the cold.
Do you have any advice for
I just lost 3 pounds the other day.
making
so I
batch
figured I'd
smoothies?
go
So,
for it.
a lot of the recipes are for 4 servings and you make it and how to preserve it and does it still keep its nutritional?
Oh, yeah. I will freeze my smoothies in jars. So I'll make a big batch, so you only have to put in the
Tasted
blender
first one was
once.
sweet. This
And
one
then
wasn't.
freeze it in jars with a little bit of space, like mason jars at the top, so it allows for expansion. And then leave it in the fridge overnight, and it thaws out. Still has that icy kind of smoothie consistency, but it keeps pretty well.
But the main ingredient is cold ice cream.
And that's what I'm saying, if you can't have the cold ice cream, if you left this out so that it melted a little bit, you would still get the extra calories and some of the protein that the ice cream is providing without the cold.
Well, is there a substitute to ice cream that doesn't have to be?
Oh, like chocolate milk?
Yeah, you could do chocolate milk, or you could do yogurt.
You can put anything in there, however, any kid.
So if you look at this, this handout right here, there's a great section here on the protein. So obviously the protein powder we added is providing the protein, but if you could easily do Greek yogurt, you could easily do tofu or anything like that.
Got it, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you, I guess there is, would you want to try to make, I guess 20 some odd grams of protein per smoothie or something? Or?
And yeah, that one will again depend on your specific nutrition goals, and that's one of the things that I work with my clients to kind of figure out, okay, how much protein do you need in a day? Where can we get it? Are you getting it at meals? Do we need to supplement with smoothies or with a nutrition supplement? So.
Can I ask, it's rough, I think it was at the RDA is like 50 to 60 grams of protein a day or something, or is that correct? Or?
So it depends again on what's going on.
That's what I'm trying to,
yeah.
So like you can go either side of that, I guess, or something, depending on what you're doing in your life or something.
Yeah, so sometimes your protein needs will be more, sometimes they could be less. It depends on how tall you are, what your body weight is. A lot of different things impact how much protein you should be getting. The RDAs are just a basic,
basic ballpark
idea.
Thing or something.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna do the tofu one next to strawberries. Is that what we're doing next? I think so. Keep going down the bottom. Okay. So this is another one of the high protein ones. So it depends on what is going, again, what your nutrition goals are. But we're gonna use a little bit of a different protein source with this. We're gonna use silken tofu.
Oh, good.
Yay,
I want that if it's not cool. I love the taste of that.
Yeah,
And there's protein in that, I presume. Is that correct? That's a good protein source
Yes.
or something?
So if you don't do dairy, or you just like the tofu.
Yeah,
It doesn't matter to me. Does it taste like anything?
Soy-based?
it's soy-based. The thing with soy, and I know because with breast cancer, that's something that we definitely need to be aware of. Again, each person's a little bit different, but the current recommendations are that natural sources of soy, such as tofu and soy milk, are okay, and they actually can be protective. Whereas the fake sources of soy, like soy proteins and soy protein powders, and some of the soy isolate, like if you get like the fake, like the vegan meat, those are the ones that we want to avoid.
Okay, so we're doing tofu, about half a cup of strawberries.
So the smoothies taste better when they're cold. I've made you some new ones. I'm working.
And we're just going to add in some water to give it liquid. Thoughts on the peanut butter chocolate one? Good?
Great.
That was really sweet on the first, yeah, I burned that up the first one. I can't taste it after that. It's like,
less cold, you can absolutely do that.
Right.
Definitely. How's that look? That looks good. You can give it a little bit more water.
We're eyeballers. We eyeball a lot when we're cooking.
I was really afraid, I was afraid to do all that to make them. I had the machine for 6 months before I made my first one. I need to know specifically how to do it. And then after I made my first one, I was like,
Oh yeah.
probably doing
That's
it
good.
wrong.
All right.
Cool. Wow.
Good.
Love this stuff.
And again, the possibilities are endless. So you
Oh,
can
yeah,
do
for sure.
you can do any kind of smoothie. You can do any of your fruit. If your fruit is going bad, throw it in the freezer or throw it in a smoothie.
Can I put like meat in there then or anything?
Why not?
I mean, you could. You absolutely could. I don't know how good it would taste, but you absolutely could.
I just, when she said like, oh, here's an idea.
You
And
can
it's
do
protein.
the
Steak
Patron invite me for dinner.
Exactly. What's takeaway.
Just let me know ahead of time.
Sausage smoothies. Oh my
There you
God.
go.
Not sure that
I
one tastes
can't
very
even
good, but you know what?
imagine
Whatever do you have a taste for?
Go for it.
Go for it.
Well, I just, it's mostly a thing to get the junk in me. 'Cause after the first gulp, I don't have any taste buds left. Interesting.
Do you want to try and pass?
Very interesting.
Okay.
Is it cold or hot?
Ooh.
I like that.
Yeah,
Strawberry.
I can
Mm.
That should be fruit, and there should be one for you on this one.
Mm. It wasn't sweet. It was something. That was soy in there, though.
The
Can you taste
tofu.
Yeah, tofu, soy stuff, whatever. Yeah.
And you can always add like a teaspoon or two of honey if you need it a little sweeter.
I just-
With,
I had more berries, basically.
And with the
But-
seasonal berries, like if you got a nice bunch of strawberries and fresh peaches from the store, it'd
Yeah,
be a
buy
lot
a bag of
sweeter.
frozen bad stuff from Giant or something,
It's gonna be a little bit. It's gonna be a little bit less sweet. That's for sure.
Oh.
I think we're good.
Not as
Everyone
many
got some.
berries
Did everyone
as I
get
put
some
in
who
it.
wanted some? Yes.
And you're saying like for veggies or for fruits that are going bad. What about vegetables?
Same.
Same.
Yep. Any fruit, any veggies or fruits that are going bad,
Use that
you can
one.
stick them in the freezer and then use them as you want. Or that's a great way if you don't really know how to use them, throw them in a smoothie.
Yeah, I cut up my bananas as they'll start going bad. I just cut them up, put them in a snack bag, and put them in the freezer because I'll use them within a week or two, and a
Right.
snack bag's fine for that.
Definitely. And
Oh, that's a great idea.
And
Banana skeleton.
yeah, especially the organic ones, they go a little bit faster.
So this one is a green smoothie. Because it is diabetes friendly, we're going to pay attention to the amount of fruit in it. We don't want to go overboard with the fruit. So we're doing just half a banana and half the apple.
And then we're also making sure that we're including a good source of protein. So I mentioned the unjuri earlier. Now we're just using the unflavored one. Like I said, it doesn't have to be unjuri. It can be whatever protein powder that you like.
And spinach for
Yep.
good measure.
Gonna add some spinach. There's some great nutrients in that.
Love.
And the other thing we're going to add to make it a little bit more heart healthy are your flax seeds. So this is ground flax.
Mhm.
So all we're gonna do is just stick that in there, and that's on one of the bottom of that matrix. There, that's a great add-in that you can add. Yes.
Isn't that another source of soy, the flax?
No, that's a seed by itself.
I know, but it interferes with certain drugs.
It can, again, and it's very, very specific, and that's why, working with a dietitian is really important in reviewing what your medications are and making sure that you're not eating something that would interfere with your medication.
Yeah, I think Kevin brought that up in one of the. I see you got chia seeds on here. There's, about using them. They talk about letting them soak. Do you have to let them soak before you use them in this, or does it
So
matter?
these are ground up already.
I know that's flax, but I'm talking about chia.
It depends on how.
Chia is you don't grind it. You
Right,
typically,
right.
I mean, for prep you soak it,
It
and when you
depends.
read it.
It
So-
depends on the texture that you want. Because if you do just chia seeds straight, blend it up, and then drink it, it's probably gonna be a little gritty.
Yeah.
But if you soak them, they plump up and then
Yes.
have that different consistency.
But it doesn't really then
It
matter.
doesn't really matter. You'll still get
that's-
the nutrients
I
from it.
yeah, 'cause I don't soak it. I just
Yeah.
throw it in there.
Alright.
Do we have any liquid in this?
I put a little bit of water in there, a little bit more in there, and I also just added in a little bit of honey for sweetness.
A little bit of what?
A little bit of honey for
Okay.
sweetness.
Yeah,
Mhm.
get rid of that.
That was cool.
And make sure those big bits get
Again, blend it up.
blended up. I think we're good.
All right. This one shouldn't be cold,
Yeah, guys,
so this one should be good.
Yeah, you're gonna have that one.
I gotta have that.
Give you a big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, he needs to.
And as these sit, you could probably have it once it
Once it
Warms
warms
up.
up a little bit.
Yeah. Interesting.
Any questions?
Always. Let's see, what else do we have?
We're ready. Just
I do.
Yes.
Fire away.
I've just started a chemo that's really going to lower my red and white blood cells. So what do you recommend for that? What's really good for the red and white blood cells?
So what we
Oopsie.
what we really want to make sure that we're doing in that case is, one, making sure you're getting enough protein. So there are two different types of, so you want to make sure you're getting enough iron that will help your red blood cells. A really good source of, it's called heme iron, comes from the red meat and other animal sources of protein. And then also you can get, there's a different kind of iron called non-heme iron from the fruits and veggies, like the dark leafy green vegetables, some of the beans, whole grains. That would also be a good source of that.
Dark leafy green vegetables, whole grain.
Did everyone who wanted one get one?
So there's an apple and spinach mostly. And
Yeah. Now what made that sweet then, do you think?
Probably it was on favorite person. She did.
I had a little bit of honey.
Do you think that made that's,
Is it apple sweet?
well, I mean,
Apple.
it tasted, I was just surprised, a little bit of honey did that much to it.
That's good.
Because I know usually green stuff is like it's gonna take it down the other direction, you know?
Fill these up and then I'll go rinse this so we can get our last meeting in here. Sounds good.
So are like bags of berries and stuff, is all that okay or something? Or, I mean, I know fresh would be wonderful, but I'm going for convenience.
Well,
So-
and frozen wise,
Okay.
as long as it's not sweetened, which most frozen berries aren't, if they're
Yeah.
just a plain like this,
Yeah.
they're actually just as good as getting something that's fresh. So a lot of times when the produce that's frozen is picked, it's picked right when it's ripe, it's picked, peak of freshness, and
Right.
then it's frozen. So it can
I mean, that's the way I've been doing it. It's like, oh, I can get a 4-pound bag for $10.
Yeah, so there's definitely a convenience factor in it, and then you have it on hand. So even with frozen vegetables, sometimes fresh vegetables, if you don't eat it in time, it can go bad. But with a frozen vegetable, for the most part, it'll probably be okay. The big thing I just also tell people with frozen vegetables is just be aware of the sauces, because if it's some of the frozen vegetable bags, they have some of the sauces on there. Definitely not a bad thing, depending on what your nutrition goals are, though. You might want to be aware of the sodium and things like that.
I don't know. Hey, are you familiar with something called super green? It's a green powder, basically. I think it's a bunch of veggies ground up or something like that.
And are you putting it in like your smoothies?
Oh
or?
yeah, whatever the serving size, whatever it is, one
To go in that.
tablespoon like or whatever roughly.
Yeah, and it's I'm familiar with something similar, not the exact one that you're
Yeah.
speaking of, but a lot of times that would be fine, or you can get the same effect from just adding in veggies to your smoothie.
Yeah.
And you'll get one more take that.
So this is a banana smoothie. We did kind of say it was for if you're having mouth sores or any kind of difficulty eating, because we're using just bananas, the fruit. So it's very low acid.
Yeah.
It's not gonna.
I remember that. Yeah.
And we're using a little bit of a different protein source in this one as well, so we're using yogurt in this one.
Now that's,
Yeah, we can, I think, do this one with you guys too.
how much protein is in the yogurt? That's not that much in
It's
there.
15 grams.
This has
That's
15 grams.
Greek yogurt.
Yeah, that's what I use. I just don't remember seeing. I'll look to see if that's.
The big thing to remember with yogurt, again, is trying to go for the plain and then seasoning it, flavoring it up yourself, because
Yeah.
yogurt can be a hidden source of a lot of hidden
In
sugars.
sugars, yeah, I know you'll get 15 of sugars in there.
And a plain will just have 10 sugars on its own.
Yeah,
For lactose.
okay.
But if you see flavorings and you're up in like the 18, 19 grams of sugar.
No, not, yeah, I see 15 or 16, but not that much. That must be that. Cool.
So we can add, we're gonna make this one not cold, but you can add ice to this to make it a little bit. Or if it's really crisp,
guys have hemp hearts on here too. What's the deal with it? Because I just started using those, but I don't know why. I know why. I saw somebody else buying it in the store. I said, oh, what the hell?
It's actually a decent source of protein.
Yep.
Really? Okay.
So if you wanted to switch it up, it has vitamins and minerals in them too.
Now, they're not my favorite for smoothies though, because they make them kind of chunky.
It's a little gritty.
Yeah.
I mean, it's already big browned or whatever.
But if you're, for example, having oatmeal in the morning and you want to add something to kind of zhuzh it up a little bit, hemp hearts would be a great option. Provide a little bit of different texture.
Something I haven't tried.
Use that.
No,
We've had it.
not really
Not too
sure.
long ago. Thank you. You're so welcome.
Okay. There we go. I was afraid to grab it. My one.
That's right. That's okay.
You'll be wearing it.
You
I'll
can
be in
spill all
trouble.
over me. That's totally fine.
That's right.
Any questions?
Watch that rug over there.
What was the favorite?
Consensus at the end.
The first one.
The first one, the chocolate peanut butter.
Yeah, you can't beat that.
Definitely can't. Definitely can't. That's for sure.
The spinach one was surprisingly good though.
Good.
I'm glad to hear that. Any questions on anything that we've talked about today? So definitely, the big thing that we want to make sure you guys are taking home is that smoothies can be a great way to get in fruits and veggies, especially if your appetite's a little lower or you aren't feeling like chewing and have difficulties with swallowing. So it can be a great way to get fruits and vegetables. Definitely being aware of what portion sizes you're using of fruits and vegetables when you're putting in there, and making sure that you're adding in a good source of protein to help keep you fuller, keep your blood sugars more stable, and it can definitely work. Yes.
Oh, is it okay? I got a lot.
Yes.
I'm a smoothie freak, so one a day, whether I like it or not. You got 1 cup of spinach on the green smoothie, so is that like packed or what? What's the cup?
If the more you want to put in there, the better.
Oh yeah, so I'm like, this is my thing going. Yeah, I don't know anything about the kitchen other than when you say a cup of spinach, then I got all kinds of questions.
Yeah, we just did like a handful-ish.
I know. When I first saw a dietitian, she said, "Oh, just take a handful." I'm like, I can't. Your hand or my hand? See the difference? I just kind of get a little crazy on that.
Well, and that's what the good part about cooking is trial and error. You figure out what works for you and what tastes good to you, and.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty much. I think pretty much found that. Can't do that in baking, but I guess here you go.
Yeah, definitely not in baking.
Smoothies are much more forgiving.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Let's see.
All good, I guess.
That's everything we have for today.